Well, greetings from St. Louis. On a landmass known as Missouri. I am near St. Louis right now. And my buddy Paul Niehaus of Blue Lotus Studio has agreed to let me restore this mystery amp from the late 40s, late 30s, early 40s. I have no clue what it is, but it sure is sweet. It's got a nasty hum. Check out the back. Whew, nice ass. It's got what I believe, that's an 80 tube there. I believe that's 1/6L6, possibly. This is like a, I don't know what those are. I think that's like a 30 or a 32 tube or something like that. And there's another unknown tube lurking under there, and this wicked cool roll field coil. Pretty high resistance there, 7,500, unlike the Gibson amp that I've restored. Whoop, pay attention. So, and I've done a quick look on the internet. Haven't been able to find out much about this Sound Projects company. It's got a tone. It's really a volume. Pretty cool Art Deco looking thing. And so I may have to just draw the schematic out and figure it out from there. So we'll see. But overall, I mean, it's a little dinged up, but it looks like it's in pretty nice shape. It does look like it's been worked on because there's a, I don't know if you can see it, there's a fuse cap in there that looks like it was added. And also a 3-prong plug. So we'll have to just rip it open and see. So yeah, should be a fun little project. Stay tuned. All right, so I did a Google search. You gotta love the internet. Paid for by John Q. taxpayer and used by the military, and then sold back to John Q. taxpayer. Anyways, turns out that this amp was made by Lectrolab guitar amplifiers. Found a very cool website. Looks like a lot of information, so I'm going to dive in here. Here's the history. It was a primary brand name for amplifiers made by Sound Projects Company. So it looks like Sound Projects Company may have been the parent company in Chicago. Ah, the land of the blues. All right. For purposes, blah, blah, blah. Lectrolab and Sound Products Company can be used interchangeably. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, more information there. And then over here is the K100 amp. That's the one in question here. So I'm going to click there and see what that's all about. Okay, well, unfortunately, I was hoping for a schematic, but this is interesting. It says it was probably built in the 30s. This is definitely the amp in question here. I'm going to have to do a little hunting. It says it's similar to the Troubadour amp. So I'm going to keep looking around and hopefully I can find a schematic. Tubes unknown. That's, I'm not thrilled with that. I know some of the tubes, but I got to take a closer look. All right, I'm going to keep looking here. Well, this is pretty damn cool. Look at this. It says it's shrouded in the haze of time. The actual company. Wow. This is probably one of the earliest guitar amps ever made. And it's got the, here's a listing of the tubes in the Troubadour. I'm going to have to double check on that. Wow. Well, I've turned up nothing on the internet regarding the schematic for this, and this is such a simple amp. Provided I can identify these tubes, I'm going to probably just draw out a schematic for this, just for gits and shiggles. So I'm going to tear into this right now and pop it open and see what's been done or not done. Hopefully it's unmolested, but I have a feeling not. But we'll see. Well, I'm super sad to report that the Orange Drop Bandit was in here and went ahead and shotgunned through here and replaced all the electronics with the dreaded orange drops. I'm really disappointed to see this. I was hoping to get something unmolested. So I don't know how great this video is going to be. So yeah, they left some of the resistors behind, but really sad to see all the caps have been pilfered out of here. Maybe they were well-meaning, I don't know, but they didn't use the really good caps to replace it. It looks like whoever worked on it did pretty decent work, actually. But they used the crapola orange drops, which, as you know, if you've watched any of my videos, I'm not a fan of. You know, and I know some people are going to say, oh, that's a tinfoil hat thing, you know. But, you know, the ear is the ear. And to my ear, I've done extensive listening with orange drops versus... You know, I had a basement, and I took all the yellow caps out and put all orange drops in. I listened to it. I took all the orange drops out. I put all Fender blue caps in there and listened. I took all the Fender blue caps out and put black beauties in. I put mustard caps in. I've listened to all the caps in the basement side by side, and I'm telling you, orange drops noticeably changed the sound. And if you don't agree with me, feel free to scroll on. Anyways, rant over. I'm going to see what's going on with this amp. Well, I've mapped out a rough map here, and here's one of my pet peeves. So yeah, when you're installing caps, new caps, make sure that you install them so that the values are hidden. Make them real nice, neat wires, but hidden, so future guys cannot even begin to read what they say. Look at all these. Every single cap is not legible. Every single one. You have to twist wires, spin them around. That one is. I take it back. One out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 caps. 1 out of 9 is actually legible. Nice. And then my favorite, of course, is the electrician's tape. That's always good. That lasts about a year in this kind of environment before it starts peeling off and exposing all the loose or the joints that you were covering up temporarily. So, anyways, I will be testing these caps. They're inferior quality, and I'm suspecting that one of them or more are bad, judging from the sound that was emanating from this electrodynamic reproducer. Okay. The more I look at this, the more I'm convinced that it was an electrician that worked on this, not an actual amplifier guy or a musician. Look at the size of the hole he had to drill to install this massive strain relief. It's about 3 sizes too big. And then the other thing is, I don't see any high voltage filter caps on this thing at all. I don't know what I'm missing here. This is a 100 volt 15 UF that's actually the bias cap. I don't know what I'm missing here. These don't look very powerful either, and of course they're locked in there, so I can't read them. But I'm suspecting these are not good, so that's my first investigation is right there, because I'm suspecting these are no good here. All right. You know, this is neatly done, but I'm not in love with this. I guess. So this is a 450 volt at 4 UFs. I think I can do better than that. But we'll see what I'm going to do here. I'm definitely going to do something a little different there. Alrighty. I don't think that's what was here originally, but I'm guessing. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to upgrade these 4.7 caps here with this very cool F&T 8+8 cap. Gonna go there. That's just going to be better. Period. End of story. Alrighty, here's what I've done so far. So, I replaced the puny baby filter caps with this nice stout F&T cap, and I ran it's 2-in-1. I ran one to here, and I just put in a nice little terminal board there. Ran one to this side with all that mishmash of other wires going to it. Field coil, speaker, etc., etc. Lots of stuff there. Then the second one is here, and I grounded it to the center. Alrighty. And then I just clipped out, there was just a big mosh of wires here, all held together with electrical tape. And I put another, you can't really see, that's kind of a standing up type of, it goes up and down. It's a vertical terminal strip. I cleaned up the ground here for everything. And I got, you know, your ground for your cathode. And then, of course, the bias. And this is going back to ground. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fire this up without any tubes in it, just to make sure I didn't do any shorts or anything. And then I'm going to just stick a rectifier tube in there and make sure it doesn't have any crazy current problems. All right. All right, so I've plugged it in, and it's humming a little bit. Got no filter cap in, no rectifier in there, and it's putting out, you know, it seems to be the normal voltages here. You got about 300 AC volts, blah blah blah. I'm gonna just plug a rectifier tube in and see what happens. All right, I got the rectifier tube in, and all the AC voltages are the same, and the tube, it's putting out about 330 volts DC. So I'm thinking I'm going to discharge these caps and plug the tubes in and see if it's still making that horrific hum that it was making. Alright, so I've got the tubes back in here. I've got it plugged into my ubiquitous current limiter, and from there I got it turned onto the variac. I got the variac clicked on and I got it at 0. So I'm going to slowly crank it up, go up to about 60. Get a little bit of light coming in from the pilot light. I'm just going to let these tubes power up. No glow whatsoever from the current limiter. I'm going to turn this up just, put it up to about 90. Let the tubes do their thing. Seems like it's doing good. It looks like these tubes are lighting up. I'm gonna crank it up to about 117 thereabouts. And yeah, pot needs cleaning, but it appears to be working now without that horrific hum that it had before. And best of all, no glow and no magic smoke. So I'm gonna run a signal generator in here now and see what it sounds like. Okay, here we go one more time. Got the variac turned on. It's coming in at a nice... That's not a hum, that's my signal generator. Nice, so it seems like the problem is fixed. Seems like the problem's fixed. It was those puny, crappy Chinese filter caps in there. Next thing I'm going to do is shut everything down and give these tubes a test and see what's what. I'm pretty sure that's a 6L6. I just want to make sure. And then I'm going to just test these tubes for strength, see if they're any good, if I can improve them a little bit. I don't have many of these on hand. I got to be honest with you. Alrighty. Well, here it is with a guitar. Alright, now I'm going to test the tubes out. So far, so good! Okay, my tube tester meter appears to have calmed down. And I'm testing this 6L6 here. That's a nice strong 6L6. Whew, 26. Yep. That's all I usually test these for. There are other tests, but it already sounds good. I just want to make sure there's good life in the tube there, or strength, or whatever you want to call it. Kind of readjust the needle here. I'm going to say it's at 25. 24. Seems to be holding steady there, so I'm going to call that a nice good tube. Now I got to look up these other ones in my obsolete tube list, because I pretty much would have to make a safe bet that these are mostly obsolete tubes, as they say. They're going to be calling me obsolete next. Well, this 80 tube, believe it or not, is actually in my regular list. And it's, one side is testing pretty, I mean, it's testing good, it's working, but I have one more in my stash. I'm going to see if that tests any stronger for my buddy Paul. Mine's not much better. I mean, it's slightly better, but geez. Looks like the other side of the original tube is testing stronger. Looks like my tube is testing stronger on the second triode, or plate, sorry, second plate. So I'm going to donate this one to my buddy Paul. He's a fellow bullshit analyzer, so yeah, I'm going to put this one in there. This is stronger. Looks like it's, once it's warming up, it's really hitting good, but my meter's off some. Yeah. Looks like it's testing pretty good though, up around 19.5. I'm very happy to report that this 76 tube seems to be in nice shape. This is a 6C8. This one side of it tests really nice, strong. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of redneck engineering here to get this thing working, but that's a nice strong half of that tube. Let's test the other half. And the other half of that 6C8 triode looks just about the same thing. This is a really nice balanced tube here, according to this test. Alrighty. I'm thinking I'm going to put this sucker back together. Alright, so I got this button back up. Everything seems real good. You do hear a little bit of hum, which is kind of, from what I've been seeing with the field coils, and I'm not super experienced with field coil speakers yet, but there is like an inherent hum there. And then of course I got my fluorescent light overhead, so when I turn up my my 125/LA175, you can get some hum from there. So I'm just gonna do a little blasting. It's cranked. There's no effects. You know, you got your on, off, and volume all in one. So you know, so yeah, just give it a little maybe a little T-bone on the middle selection on my. Yeah, sounds good. Here's the neck position. P90s. Thank you, Seymour Duncan. Also sending this out to the late great Luther Guitar Jr. Johnson. Rest in peace, Luther. You were a huge influence on me, and you're already sorely missed in the blues community. Well, that just about wraps it up for this Lectar slash whatever. Pretty cool little guitar amp. One of the first guitar amps ever made, right here, late 30s. Very cool amp, and not a huge amount of work that I needed to do. Someone else had already gone in there and did a little work. I just basically cleaned it up and replaced some faulty components they thought it was okay to install. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope this helps. And this is, if you wanted to, this amp is available for your recording pleasure at Blue Lotus Studios. All you got to do is pay him a small phenomenal fee. Go on in there and record. He does a great job on roots, blues, jazz music. Paul, tell him L.A. Jones sent you. Alrighty. Thanks again. Hope to see you soon.